You wake up, and before your feet touch the floor, you've already lost. Not to some enemy, not to bad luck, not to a lack of talent, to your phone. Before you speak, before you think, before you decide who you're going to be today. You scroll, and in that moment, something invisible happens. You surrender control, not dramatically, quietly. Your attention, hijacked. Your focus, fragmented. Your discipline, delayed. And you call it normal. But what if I told you your phone isn't just distracting you, it's training you to avoid boredom, training you to crave stimulation, training you to quit the moment something feels slow. You don't feel weaker, but your mind is. Every notification is a tiny command. Look here, react now, feel something instantly, and you obey, again and again. You think you're using your phone, but your phone is shaping you, because attention isn't neutral. Whatever captures it, conditions it. And right now, your device is conditioning you to expect reward without effort. Think about how you consume content. Short clips, fast cuts, instant humor, endless novelty. Your brain doesn't have to work, it just receives. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Every swipe is a micro hit of dopamine. No struggle, no delay, no depth. Now compare that to real growth. Reading a difficult book, building a business, learning a skill, having a hard conversation. There's friction, silence, confusion, no instant reward, and suddenly it feels unbearable. Why? Because your phone has trained your nervous system to reject slow gratification. You say you can't focus. You say you get bored easily. You say discipline is hard. But look at what you practice daily. Rapid consumption, constant switching, zero stillness. You are rehearsing distraction. And whatever you rehearse, you become good at. You don't lack intelligence, you lack sustained attention, and sustained attention is power. Without it, you can't build anything meaningful. You can't sit long enough to master a craft. You can't think deeply enough to solve complex problems. You can't endure boredom long enough to create something original. Instead, you chase stimulation, because silence now feels threatening. Be honest, when was the last time you sat alone without reaching for your phone? No music, no scrolling, no background noise, just you and your thoughts. It feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? That discomfort isn't random. It's withdrawal. Your brain is so used to constant input that stillness feels like emptiness, and emptiness feels dangerous. So you escape it, immediately. But here's the psychological shift most people never realize. The ability to sit in silence is directly connected to mental strength. If you can't control your attention, you can't control your life, because attention directs action, and action shapes identity. Right now, your phone dictates when you focus. When you feel validated, when you feel entertained, when you feel connected, that's not convenience, that's dependency. And dependency weakens you, not physically, mentally. It erodes your tolerance for difficulty. Imagine this. You sit down to work on something important. Within minutes, you feel a subtle urge. Check your messages. Open a tab. Scroll just for a second. That urge isn't harmless. It's conditioning. Your brain expects novelty. And when it doesn't get it, it creates discomfort. Most people respond automatically. They give in. Relief. Dopamine. Cycle reinforced. But the strongest individuals, they notice the urge and don't move. That's the difference. Not motivation, restraint. Every time you resist that impulse, you strengthen neural pathways of control. Every time you obey it, you strengthen impulsivity. And over months, that difference compounds. Weak attention leads to weak execution. Weak execution leads to weak results. And weak results create weak self-belief. You start doubting yourself. I can't focus. I'm inconsistent. I just don't have discipline. But discipline isn't missing. It's being drained by constant micro-distractions. Here's the contrast. The average person wakes up and consumes. The elite wake up and create. The average reacts. The elite decide. The average checks notifications. The elite check priorities. One lives in response mode. The other lives in command mode. And your phone quietly pushes you toward response mode all day. Ping, buzz, flash. Each one fragments your cognitive depth. You can't think strategically if your mind is trained to think in fragments. You can't build long-term success on short-term stimulation. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't want to admit this because it feels small. It's just a phone. No, it's a behavioral training device designed to keep you engaged, not empowered. The apps compete for one thing, your time. Because your time is monetized, the longer you stay, the more you consume. The more you consume, the more predictable your behavior becomes. And predictability is profitable. But it's not powerful. Power comes from autonomy, from choosing where your attention goes, from deciding when to engage and when to disconnect. Right now, if you tried to put your phone in another room for an entire day, how would you feel? Anxious, restless, disconnected. That reaction tells you everything. Strength is measured by what you can walk away from. And if you can't walk away from your phone, it owns you. This doesn't mean technology is evil. It means unmanaged technology is corrosive. There's a difference. Tools are powerful. Addictions are weakening. Your phone can educate you, or it can sedate you. It can help you build, or it can help you escape. The question is not whether you use it. The question is whether it uses you. Here's how weakness quietly forms. Short attention span, reduced boredom tolerance, constant comparison, decreased deep thinking, increased impulsivity. None of these feel dramatic. But together, they erode resilience. And resilience is everything. When life becomes difficult, and it will, the person trained on instant gratification struggles the most, because real life doesn't swipe. It demands patience. It demands persistence. It demands focus. If your brain is trained for speed and novelty, long-term effort feels like punishment. And that's where most people break. Not because they lack ability, because they lack mental endurance. So what do? You don't need to delete everything. You need to reclaim control. Start with boundaries. No phone the first 30 minutes of your morning. No scrolling before sleep. Notifications off for non-essential apps. Work in blocks without interruption. Simple rules, but hard, because you'll feel the pull. That subtle itch to check. That's the training fighting back. And every time you resist it, you rebuild strength. You rebuild attention. You rebuild agency. You remind your brain that you are in charge, not the algorithm. Imagine what happens after months of that. Your focus sharpens, your thoughts deepen, your work improves, your confidence rises. Not because you posted something, but because you finished something. That's real power, quiet, unseen, but undeniable. And here's the final reflection. Your phone isn't inherently making you weak. Your unconscious use of it is. Weakness isn't loud, it's subtle. It's the inability to sit still, the inability to delay gratification, the inability to control impulses. Strength isn't loud either. It's the calm ability to choose effort over escape. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off and your hand reaches for your phone, pause. That moment is a fork in the road. React or reclaim control. Small choice, massive consequence. Because the way you use your phone today is shaping the person you become tomorrow. And whether you realize it or not, you are being trained. The only question is, for weakness or for strength? If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might change your life.